Happy Friday, live from the Sci-Fi Center. Rare Friday one where I do it this late from the center, but I just got done wrapping up our promos, and I figure once I get home and eat, I'm probably going to be too tired to jump back on. And I did want to keep the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for the most part until Enosh's return, and we find out exactly where we need to slot ourselves from that point on. But welcome to a very rare impromptu semi-overnighter Friday night live. This is pretty much going to be an open mic just to say hi, what's going on. I'm pretty sure you guys will come up with some topics to go through. This is the time when you would ask me about things about having to do with comics and stuff, because a lot of times I get those comics or get those comments when I'm at the house and I'm not surrounded by that stuff. So let's see. Long time no see, Therese. How you doing? What's going on, Vince? And I can see StreamYards is doing its usual. We'll let everybody know in our own time situation. So I tried to start it a little bit earlier so that people could get lined up with the live stream. Like I said, the majority of the people who check into our streams do it the next day or over the next couple of days. We get a lot of our watches via WeWatch and non-live, but like I said, I still know there's a good number of you who likes to watch live, so I try to make it so that the YouTube and StreamYard send out the notifications in due time. I'm probably going to do what I promised to do, and I'll probably do this tomorrow night. I'm probably going to just start the show, hit the begin broadcasting like 15 minutes earlier. That way it sends out that notification and gives you guys plenty enough time. That way we don't have heartburn. We don't have people getting it. I mean, after I'm on the air for 15, 20 minutes, people still getting the notifications. So yeah, it's a vast majority of people. You know, I get comments and I get emails and stuff or messages from people who just watched a show that we've done 2 days ago, which is fine. Hey, that is the magic of YouTube and the magic of social media. You can watch it when you have time. I don't know how many things I have on in my queue that I'm due to watch, but you know I get to them when I can get to them. So I don't mind. The live portion of it is for the interaction, the main interaction with the people who can. So if you have direct questions and things like that, I'm here. I can answer those for you. But you're just as you can just as easy, you know, if you do, you know, you can't stay up. If you're on the East Coast or if you're, you know, in another part of the world and you can't stay up and watch us, you can just as easily leave a comment in the comment section on either of our pages. Which, you know, right now you are either watching on the Poindexter Lounges channel. You hit like and subscribe to that one, or you are watching on my channel, which is hold on, let me get that out the way, which is youtube.com/at Sci-Fi Center. Please like and subscribe so that by the age of 78, I can get monetized someday. Who knows when that's going to happen? How you doing, Prodesk? What's going on, Dean? Or Dean? That dude, Vince. What's going on? How, Jordan? Nice to see you. Jared Server, what has been the temperature of the Flash that you've seen for our people in the Sci-Fi Center and just out in the world? Well, most of the people that I've seen it with will have liked it. Would like to see more of the characters that they saw, especially Supergirl. You had those who came for Fossil Batman. You know, Michael Keaton. They liked him. They didn't really, you know, he like I said. One of the things I do want to warn people about, you know, I don't want to ruin the movie for you, and I'm not going to. I'll just say this one thing: it is a Flash movie. Whatever, if you have misgivings about Ezra Miller and you don't like Ezra Miller and you're one of these all boycotted, I mean, you might as well not twist yourself in a knot. It's his movie. The only person that outshines Ezra Miller in this movie is Ezra Miller as another version of Barry Allen. But everybody enjoyed it this far. You know, I didn't get too many negatives. I mean, some people complained about the CGI, but the vast majority of people that we've gone through over the screens that we've done have not had to complain about the CGI. So, but let me show you guys something real quick that we just got in today. Some of you on our social media, you probably already seen it, but let me show some of you guys who may not be connected with us. So we got these in from Warner Brothers today because this week, that's why that tracking is bullshit. When they say, "Oh, it's only tracking at 7," that could very well be true, but it's most likely not true because most of us who are helping you promote the movie, we didn't start our ticket push till today. So the trades were tracking it at 70 million, but they're tracking sales that have already happened. Box Office Pro is tracking intent to go see the movie, which so far has been way more accurate. They're not on all the time, but they're not off by 70 million. So as part of our promotion, we got these posters in. I'm going to show you the big one too. This is the first one with the lightning bolt and into the water, into the Batcave, you know, Batman promotion, but it's a Flash movie. This one I really like. This one reminds me of like an Alex Ross poster. Worlds Collide. You can see Supergirl carrying Barry up into the lightning. You can see the Batwing, and then you can see Supergirl right there, and then you can see Ben Affleck's Batman on his Bat Cycle. These are cool. We're giving these away. If you come down to the center, we have these for you. So that's the Worlds Collide one. Well, they're all Worlds Collide, but some of them are a little bit more vivid than the other one. This might be my second favorite out of the three. This is an hourglass. You can see Barry Allen at the top of the hourglass. Michael Keaton's Batman at the bottom of the hourglass. And then if you look in the middle there, you see Sasha Calle's Supergirl in the middle of the hourglass. So those are the three smaller posters we are giving away. And then I'll have to stand back because this is a huge poster. Then there's this. This is the one sheet, 48 by 24. This is the one you see in the theater. So I won't push this up close to you because you know when you go to the movie theaters you can see it. It's a two-sided one sheet poster, 48 inches by 24. We will be handing these out. We might even do some giveaways, but like I said, when it comes to giveaways and stuff, I'm really bad because shipping is really bad here in my part of town as far as the post office I use. So those are the promos we've been doing for that movie. So we're really heavy into the promos right now for the Flash. I've never seen the company that we work with promote a Warner Brothers or a comic book movie this much. We've been dealing with these guys for 11 years. But while we're at it, been promoting Transformers all week. Looks like a tape deck, right? It's actually a Bluetooth speaker in the form and the shape of a tape, which I think is cool. And then there's your USB-C cord in there for that. And then the other thing we got are air fresheners. Autobot air fresheners. I'm like, I don't get it. Then like, the cards, got it. Funny, haha. So that's what we're doing for the Flash. But yeah, we just started our ticket push for the Flash today. So this is where, you know, we're within the payday period. And that's what I was trying to tell people before is no tracking numbers matter as far as pre-purchase tickets because most people that are going to see any movie are going to buy it closest to their payday. It's just by necessity. You know, there's a lot of life is expensive right now, especially if you're taking multiple people, you're taking a family. You're going to try to put that. And when they release Flash tickets, when they first put them on sale, you're literally two paydays away from the actual date of the movie's release. So that's why when we do these campaigns, you notice I get a lot of stuff like within a week and a half or a week of, because that's when the majority of people buy their tickets. The majority of people buy their tickets within that payday week of the movie being released. Also, the majority of people that are going to see a movie at all see it in those first 2 weeks anyway. The vast majority of those people are going to see it on opening weekend. So this is why we're getting the stuff we're getting now. This is why we're getting the direction we're getting now. So when you see box office tracking, I wouldn't trust that because that's on criteria that really is not very accurate. when you start seeing like from like this weekend on, and then actually the Wednesday before, the Thursday before, that's going to be your better indicator where this movie is going, because that's where all the promotion is hitting. So all the physical promotion, the stuff that we're doing goes. All right, so where was I at? So, but yeah, um, most of the people I've seen it have liked it. There are some legitimate concerns with it. Some of those people still liked it. I have some people who are 50-50 on it, and they had legitimate concerns. Like I said, it's but for the vast majority of people that we went and saw it with, and the screenings, we've done 3 screenings right now that we've sent people to. The vast majority of them like it, and the most important thing that we got out of those people is that those people, even though we got them in to see it for free, the majority of those people plan to see the movie again when it hits theaters. Not only because they liked it, but because there's stuff in the cut that some of them didn't see, depending on when we sent them. So they want to come back and see that. And then there's a lot of cameos and stuff, just like Spider-Verse, that you really want to sit and absorb the movie, because the Flash, pun intended, is a really fast movie. And I don't think I want to watch it again so that I could really absorb what I saw. Same thing with Spider-Verse. All right, numbers. Hey, William, did you hear members of the Authority will be introduced in Superman Legacy? Yes, I have, and I'm not here to crap on anybody's parade. I could care less. I don't think I could care less about the Authority if I gave away a care. For a lot of reasons. I don't know what I'm going to get from the Authority. They're not going to be. I don't even have any Authority stuff up here. No, I don't. No, I do. Here we go. There's Superman and the Authority. There's one hanging from you. Never had much interest in the Authority in the comics. Here you go, Superman and Authority. So I know who they are. Not the enemy, the villain I would put Superman up against. But once again, the villain's probably not going to matter. I think they could do the movie better by Brainiac, but the Authority is not going to hurt a Superman movie. I just don't think it's going to be as big a deal as a villain, depending on who could bring out the best attributes of Superman. But then again, I haven't seen a script yet. So who knows? But as far as my excitement level goes for that, or my interest level goes for that, it's 0. And some of that is because, like I keep telling you guys, when we bring up these gun movies, is that until this writer strikes ends, I don't know exactly when these movies are coming out. Right now, this movie was slated to come out in 2025, September, from July or September 2025. Okay, the writer strike has already put you into 2026, depending on if the SAG-AFTRA goes on strike and all that, and then other delays. There are going to be delays that we don't even know about that's going to happen. Projected dates, anything like that. It's roughly 3 years away. I'm trying to, but I'm just not excited about things happening that long. Maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now, a year from now, when they would drop a trailer or a teaser trailer or something like that. Maybe, hiccup. Oh man, that hurt. Maybe it'll get my blood going. But right now, for Superman Legacy and any of Gunn's slate, it's just too far away for me to care at this point. And all these rumors that are coming up, you see this guy's going to play this guy's, and I appreciate it's fun to talk about that stuff. But I got to be super careful, because I got 3 years of talking about that stuff. And there's a lot of that stuff that's going to change just by virtue of the fact that it's so long away. So, yeah, I heard about the Authority, and I'm like, okay. Didn't move the needle for me at all. William, I hope you do an Enoch comeback show. No, I mean, Enoch should do the Enoch comeback show. That's literally the guy. So, yeah, he should do that show. I just need to know when he's going to do it, so I'll be on the panel, and welcome him back. I mean, I'm happy that he's getting closer and closer to come back, because I really, like I said, without going into details, what why he stepped away. This is, and I see it from doing it now for a while. It's a part of your day that you're better off with than without. There's a lot of mundane stuff and mediocrity that goes throughout your day that this just shakes that up. This adds to your day. You could have a crappy day at work. You could have a crappy day at the office, and you have this format to come talk to people. It does make getting through things easier. So I'm happy that he's engaging in this tool again, and I think it's going to be good for him. But no, we'll let Enoch do a comeback show. That'd be kind of like, hey, welcome back, Enoch. But when he actually has the show to do it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be a announcement and stuff like that, and we'll all roll out the red carpet for him and welcome back. It'll be fun to be on a panel. It's been too long. I mean, the stuff we do is okay, but the Poindexter Lounge that's what attracted me to him. So it's going to be fun to have him back again. And like I said, I'm just glad that, this is still here for him to come back and use as a positive tool. Mr. Interaction in the school year. This is crazy with kids and their schedules and stuff. Yep. It's that time of year. Vacation time. All right. Which one is your channel? I always catch you on Poindexter now. My channel is, there you go. Vince has got it there for you. youtube.com/Active Sci-Fi Center. Right now we're broadcasting on both, which will decrease that once Enoch comes back and he starts getting back into his rhythm, we're going to decrease simulcasting. I only did it right now because while things were in limbo, we wanted to have content that kept the circulation of the channel going and not just dormant. But once he comes back, we're still going to do our live streams and stuff like that, but it won't be as many simulcasts. And we're going to be doing more like with our channel, more like you see if you look at some of the stuff we did, like the Sci-Fi Center Presents, a lot of our pre-records, a lot of our straight out of the theater stuff, a lot of our focused content is going to be on that channel. And then I'll do a couple live streams on Poindexter Lounge, and then I'll be on with him. And that should be plenty of me. You guys should probably get sick of seeing me. So thank you, Vince. All right. So looking forward to Zack Snyder's revenue. Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon because I like the influences that the historical influences that a lot of filmmakers have used to create some of the biggest franchises that they've ever done. And like, the spaghetti westerns, the Kurosawa relevancy. If you go back and look at a lot of what George Lucas did, to how they influenced Star Wars, how they influenced Empire Strikes Back. If you look at a lot of his movies and you go and watch some of these movies, even Quentin Tarantino was influenced by these people. So now here's a guy whose movies I already like, and now I get to see how he's used that influence on there. And from what I've seen, it looks amazing. It looks visually stunning. And I hope they get a theatrical release out here in Vegas. All right, new Leprechaun movie in the works by Lionsgate. Is it Warwick Davis? If it's not Warwick Davis, I just stop. And if it's not in the same lineage of Leprechaun in the Hood, you lost me. Greatest Leprechaun movie ever. Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun 4, and then Leprechaun 5, Back to the Hood, because they didn't get enough the first time. Fossil Batman, am I to believe you might be one of the very few people who didn't go see The Flash or Keaton? No. I don't go see title movies for guest characters. I don't do it. I wouldn't go see a Batman movie for The Flash, and I wasn't going to go see a Flash movie for Batman. If I want to see a Batman movie, I go see a Batman movie. Because when they're not the dedicated characters. Being in the movie is not enough for me to go. Now, I went to go see this movie because it's The Flash. I've been waiting for this movie forever. Now, I understand why they market it that way. And let's be really clear about when it comes to Batman. It wouldn't have mattered whether it was Fossil Batman or if Edward Miller had been a Boy Scout his entire life. The Flash, even though he's a founding member of the Justice League, he's on the team, but he's not on the varsity team. And he's definitely not the varsity captain that Batman is. So if you were going to do a Flash movie, it would have behooved them to put one of those Trinity characters in there no matter what, regardless who was playing the Flash and regardless who's playing the Batman. Batman alone gets you $400 million. Batman just alone gets you around $400 million. You just had a brand new Batman with a Pattinson that everybody made fun of and wasn't connected to anything that made $775 million. Even Nolan's Batman, I mean, I think the very first one just barely broke 400 million, but still, that's your baseline. Your baseline for a live action Batman is going to be 400 million. So you got it. He's your nuclear weapon. And even if Ezra Miller wasn't going through any of that stuff and Fossil Batman wasn't available, a Batman should and would have been in that movie. Batman in comics, it's the same across the board. The best-selling DC comics, guess who they are? Without a doubt, and not even close. They're Batman. Batman is the best marketing tool that DC has, no matter who it is. So, but no, I didn't. At no point, even once he was announced, and I see a lot of people. Oh, I'm just going to go see it for Keaton, and I don't care about that. You know, that's your prerogative. I listen. I don't care what gets you in the theaters as long as you get in. But the movie is The Flash. That's who I was going to see. It, you know, whether there was a Batman in it or not. Now, some people use the Batman as then that's fine, but not me. But I do understand using a Batman, no matter who your Batman was, to market that movie because Batman is the biggest draw DC has. Smart. All right, Ghosty Visitor, how are you doing? No spoilers from the Flash. Someone said, no, I'm not going to spoil the Flash. I'm vehemently opposed to spoiling the Flash, and that's why I'm talking a lot slower right now so that I don't screw up and spit anything out that you may not have seen. I know it's all over the web. I know it's all over YouTube. I know people are doing their best to ruin people's funds, but no, there will not be. We probably won't do a spoiler show until sometime next week, end of next week, after the movie's been out. If not, maybe a couple days after that, because not everybody can get, just like we just said, there's a lot of people who may not even buy their tickets till day of. So I'm not going to ruin it for you. So no, you don't have to. Most of you have not seen it, even though a lot of people have seen it because of the amount of screenings they put out. Most of you have not seen it. We will not be doing any spoilers here. And please, in the chat, just have some courtesy, not just in our chat room, anywhere you go. I mean, don't ruin it. There's some really cool things in there, just like in Spider-Man. There are some really cool things in these movies that remember how you felt when you experienced them. Let the next guy experience those. William, if you could only see one movie in theater, Flash versus Spider, don't do that to me. I loved both movies. I would have to sneak in and see them both. I like the Flash. Now, Spider-Verse might have a slight edge because I Into the Spider-Verse was already my favorite Spider-Man movie, whereas I did not have that lineage with the Flash other than the movies that he's been in. So if I had to see one, it would be like a razor thin margin. And then if you asked me 10 minutes later, that could change. I really enjoyed the Flash. The more I think about the Flash, the more I like it. So that's a coin toss, man. I can't even give you an honest answer there. 3, man, I wish I could drive to Vegas when I wanted to. Yeah, come out to Vegas. Got a lot of crazy stuff going on. I can get everybody who's in California trying to get in these screenings and got in on their fourth try, man. I could have got y'all in your first one. RJ, shame about the entire movie being leaked online at this point by angry Snyder fans leaking stuff from the screenings, including clips of the ending, the cameos, and the post-credit. It was a lot of other people leaking stuff. Some of them were Snyder fans. I know one in particular that was. But the majority of the leaks that I saw came from people who were just assholes. And you really, what's wrong with you, man? When you do things to ruin someone else's good day and you just do it blindly, you are generally a piece of shit. Why would you do that? I don't care who you're upset about. And then most of the guys that ruined it and that I've seen put it out there are just random people just doing it. They don't even have a method to their madness. Why would you do that? You need to take a look at your life. I mean, why would you ruin that for people? People you don't even know. But people you know, why would you do that? Why would you spend that much of your soul to ruin something for someone else? Even in the era of the internet, you can still control how much of an asshole you are or not. I have all the internet and all the cameras and platforms that just about anybody has. I'm not gonna screw this up for you. I'm not gonna screw any movie up there for you. And if we ever talk spoilers, you're gonna see the spoiler ticker right down the bottom. It's going to be in the title. It's going to be spoiler talk. I mean, you've seen how we prepared ourselves for it. And we give you every opportunity to go away if you don't want it spoiled for you. But there are people who are putting it out there, and if they've had any interaction with people, even if they're not on their YouTube or Twitter, or they're not going, one of their subscribers or anything like that, the algorithm will still spit that shit out at you. So you could just be minding your damn business, turn on YouTube, and here you got, and you'll see enough of it to screw it up for you. Sometimes you only need to see a face. So I don't understand what the mentality, the brain damage that causes people to do that. But yeah, I did see that, and I did see a couple people who were Snyder fans, but the vast majority of the people who are doing this are just random assholes who just think it's funny, and it's not funny. I don't understand. All right, question. What can you tell us about the Authority? What do you want to know? I really haven't had much engagement in Authority since they came over. I mean, they were a Wildstorm thing, back in the 90s? And then they resurrected them again once Jim Lee took over. They came before the Boys, though. They were basically the Boys, not as, in my opinion, is there's a little bit more tact to the Authority. But, I mean, and there's different versions of them, too, because the ones that appeared in Wildstorm, we brought them up. We did a show when they first announced them. We did a show on these guys. I mean, I can. This version of them is as one of the newer versions of them. But there's we did a whole spread on them. What? Oh, Thade, if you're here, we did it with Thade because we bought them to attention when James Gunn released the slate. They have their way of justice and fighting crime that doesn't line up with the traditional heroic way, and some stories the people are behind them and against the traditional people that would be of that world. And depending on when you pick them up and found out who they are, if you pick up a DC version, and obviously Superman and Batman are going to be the traditional people that they come to odds with. It's kind of like the Boys, but without a main protagonist already there in existing universe. So we might do it. We might have to do a show on the Authority, because even though it doesn't move the needle for me, you the audience. This is a bad part to pick it up. I have a trade over there that gets Authority, but like I said, of all the other stuff that I had to get in, Authority wasn't one of the ones. See, this is Superman and Authority, the miniseries that just came out, and I have not read this. And this is more of him working with them. Then there's Superman versus the Authority, which is him obviously fighting them, but this is him working with them. I don't even know what the premise of the storyline is in this one, because I didn't read it when it came out, and I really haven't picked up the Authority in years. Wow, it's been years. I never thought I would have to. But what we'll do, Hal, is we'll revisit, because it'll be one of the weekly topics. Authority, Superman, Authority. We'll revisit, and I know Thade knows a lot more about the Authority than I do, but we'll bring it back to the surface tomorrow for you, because it's news now. It feels like the entire movie will have leaked and been seen by everyone by this time next week when the movie actually comes out, and then that's obviously you got pirates who just do it. But what I found as far as leaked stuff goes and leaked movies goes, the vast majority of people want the quality experience. Obviously you're going to have some leeches, but Into the Spider-Verse is already out there, and that's not going to hurt them. I mean, yeah, you might lose a little bit of money, but not anything significant towards what you make. And what I found out, and because I know guys who do it, and it's like the vast majority of the people want to see a quality film in the best venue they can. You can download Top Gun Maverick but even if it's a clear, pristine, beautiful copy, right? I watched Top Gun Magic here on Paramount Plus and on Blu-ray and all that. It's not the same, and people want that, especially after being locked in their houses from COVID. Certain movies, not every movie, and that's why I think the box office is going to struggle with streaming, because you will, have that give and take. But for the big ones, the special movies, the Spider-Mans, the Batmans, the Superman, the big tentpole movies, people generally want to see those in the theater with that Dolby sound, with that, overpriced popcorn, and IMAX. Man, The Flash, the first 15 minutes of The Flash justifies IMAX. So, and that's where modern cinema is going to have to go. They're going to have to give you these kind of movies to keep you going. Otherwise, the studios are going to favor streaming. But for every Top Gun Maverick and The Flash and Spider-Verse, there's 8 or 9 or 20 movies that just won't justify it. So, but most people, yeah, you could watch a leaked version of The Flash, but trust me, you really want to see certain things in the biggest screen you can, So I think they'll be okay with that. But as far as like leaking it and ruining it for people, I just think you're a soulless piece of shit when you do that, because you're just doing it to be a prick. How you doing, William? Are you looking forward to Kelly Thompson writing Birds of Prey at all? Not at all. Not one way or the other. Nothing against or for. I'm just not engaged. I don't even want to know that there's a Birds of Prey movie coming after the one I just got. But if it's it's not engaged at all. And I don't. What is Kelly Thompson Rudd? She as that person. I'm not really familiar with that person. You guys are getting me on my weak spots today because I'm not familiar with some of the people that you bring up. And I don't want to be like one of those assholes that's like, oh yeah, I know who they are, and then just talk out of my ass. It's an American novelist. Let's see. Jim and the Holograms. Jim is truly outrageous. Yes, I know that song. And you know why? Because guess what played before the Transformers every day? Jim. And we didn't have remote. You just turned the damn TV on and you just sat there. And also all the Transformer and G.I. Joe commercials ran through there. So, let's see. Air Force, West Coast Avengers, The Girl Who Would Be King. Okay, she did. She wrote Jessica Jones, so I know it. She wrote Rogue and Gambit. Hawkeye I wasn't a fan of. Captain Marvel is as good as you can get. And she's written X-Men. This sounds like a qualified sounds qualified to me just based on her resume and some of the stuff that I have crossed over and read. Some of these comics I carry, but I don't read Captain Marvel. How you doing? So where's your spoiler review for The Flash? That's definitely not happening today. How you doing, Brucifer? Authority is just Wall Street version of the Elite, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, it should be Henry Cavill and Brainiac, but even if it's not Cavill, I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, I have to see a script before I bash on it completely. Right now, I'm just not interested. It just doesn't move the needle for me. But once I find out the premise and even who's casting it doesn't really matter to me. I don't get as excited about the casting announcements as some people do. Simply because, okay, if they announce actor A is playing this character, how do I know whether that person is going to be any good just based on the person being casted? I go with Heath Ledger. I had no idea the kind of Joker Heath Ledger was going to play when they announced him. So just the casting announcement doesn't do anything for me. Oh, well, he looks just like him. You know what we have in Hollywood? Makeup and effects artists that can make people look just like anybody else. All right, did Danny DeVito walk around looking like the Penguin when he wasn't the Penguin? No. Did the Penguin that was in the Batman, Colin Farrell, look like that? No. So, that guy looks like him. He's got black hair and he looks like Superman. You know what? There's hair coloring. There's all kinds of stuff to make the people who you don't think can play these roles look exactly like these roles. That's why I kind of like, I don't shoot down fan casting, but I don't get into it because a lot of the times people who look like certain people can't play the parts anyway. But yeah, Brainiac would have been. I just think that it's time for Brainiac. Other than Krypton, the show, which really should have got screwed over by Sci-Fi Channel. I haven't seen Brainiac in the form that I think I really need to see Brainiac, and I think Brainiac, if you don't bring back Brainiac for this James Gunn Superman thing, okay, give me an Elseworlds story with Sasha Kai's Supergirl because it lines up with, it's conflict with Krypton. Give me Brainiac in some form, but take what we can get, I guess. Question, William, what are your thoughts on Netflix having the largest spike in user signups since January 2019 after they introduced their anti-password sharing crackdown rules? I think it's great. Here's the thing. I pay for Netflix, and if you are going to take a product from somebody and you're mad about that, you're mad at what? They let you steal for a very long time. By all rights, they could have done this a long time ago. People don't want their shows canceled. They want the high quality stuff, but they don't realize that Netflix, that's how they pay for it. Netflix is unlike any other studio or streamer. They don't have, it's not like Disney where they can pull in 38 billion from their parks to supplement Disney Plus. It's not like Warner Brothers, where Warner Brothers has even music studio. I mean, it has everything and movie theater content that they can back stuff up and ad revenue and everything else. Netflix, that's what they have. So I don't have a problem with them going after people who are stealing from them. And the compromise is pretty cool. You pay the extra money. I have people on mine, and it's fine. So I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with that. And here's another thing to go back to the piracy and the and linking things online. Instead of like trying to pirate next, but people have decided that if they like something, that they'll pay for it. You always have your pirates, you always have your scumbags, you always have your people who do that stuff. But the vast majority of people, and we learned this with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is the most pirated show in the history of mankind. Doesn't matter. So many people watched Game of Thrones that it made it worth it for them to keep producing it. So I saw this coming from a while back. I'm surprised it took Netflix as long to implement that, but good for them. Shouldn't even use them. Use Storm. Are you saying Stormwatch? I'm missing. Make Henry Bendix the main bad guy, not Lex. I really, dude. I don't want to see Lex for like the first two movies. My entire childhood is bought up with Superman that use Lex Luthor, and some of them have done it great. But I'm like, okay, I want something different. And people say, well, you got the Authority. That's different. I don't know how much they're going to be in the movie, but Brainiac is different cinematically. Give me Brainiac. Brainiac's one of my favorite comic book villains of all time. PSA, Guy Ritchie's A Covenant is pretty good. Okay. There you go, everybody. William, will Sci-Fi Center do promos for Rebel Room when that releases? Yes. Yes, we will. Yeah, we did them for Army of the Dead, too, in Las Vegas and stuff like that. We have all that stuff up there with the patches and everything. From what I understand, we will. I don't have any details because it's still far, far off. But yeah, because especially we've started to do, and we got another Naomi or something like that. We got another promo we're doing for Netflix. We're starting to do more and more promos for Netflix because Netflix is starting to spend a little bit more on their advertising, which is good for them. That means they're doing all right. And you're going to have a theatrical release. Yeah, but we're going to do promo, for Rebel Moon for sure. Wow, it's only been 41 minutes. Thank you, Suri3. I'm on, like I said, age 78. We're going to throw a monetization party for me. Boss man, I'm desperately trying to see The Flash early because of avoiding spoilers is becoming difficult. Where do you live, boss man? Do you live in Vegas? If you live in Vegas, let me know. I can solve that problem for you. Because I think we still got one more left. And we've had so many screenings, though. I think we're going to have seats for it. I mean, if you're in the Vegas area, just kind of DM me or something. Same with you, Hal. Yeah, there's been a ton of screenings, and then some of us, if you saw it in the front half of the pre-screenings, you got the ending, the just a black ending, and then some of the people we sent like that a couple of nights ago got the credits and the end credit scenes. Like, don't say anything about any of that in the chat room, guys. But yeah, so there was different versions, and who knows what we'll see by the time I'm going to go see it. We're taking a group of people this Friday. Next Friday, we're gonna go see it. I'm gonna see if I need somebody to dress up as the Flash, or Supergirl. In fact, I'm gonna. Thank you for reminding myself, William. If you're local, got a Superman costume or a Flash costume, and I know some of you do, I need you to get a hold of me, and I'll put this out locally through all our social media because I want you there at the movie theater when we do our Flash promo. All right, so William, is there a specific Akira Kurosawa movie you can recommend to me that I should watch first? I can't find any of his movies, dude. We have give them to you in order. I do these solo shows, and even our solo shows, I'm gonna need to start having Fade with me to keep all this in order. I had them ranked. And I'm also going to find out there's a place where you can stream them, and I don't think it costs anything because I don't think there's an American copyright. Let's pull it up. Let's see. Kurosawa. All right. Oops. I don't want to put out that. I want to say Blade of Blood, but there was one we were talking about yesterday. Oops. I don't want to put the sound on this one. Hold on. All right. So I'm going to see if I can bring this up on the screen for you. And this is the one that this is going to be the one that should be the order, in my opinion. I think you should watch them in. All right, present screen, share screen. Come on, give it to me. Come on, it's not showing. Might just have to read this for you. I wanted to show you, but all right. Number one, and they got it number 3 on here. 7 Samurai. Yeah, the seven Samurai. In fact, I can't bring this up. There are okay. Here we go. So they got 7 Samurai number 3 on here. 7 Samurai. I'm gonna get rid of this for you. 7 Samurai is number 1. All right, number 1 is 7 Samurai. Even if you haven't seen this movie, you've been influenced by this movie. And we and Dave, we're going to actually do a special going into Rebel Moon, the influences of this movie and, others of its catalog. I think this movie right here is the most, here we go, is the most influence. I'm going to read you why. And this is why, this list has all of the movies on there, all the 15. They just don't have them in the order I would. All right, the game changer and major turning point, not only for Kurosawa as director, but the world of cinema in general. An eternal story of a bunch of ragtag samurai banding together to defend a village against a warlord who's intent on exploiting them for their own means. Tiny writing. All right, the way in which Kurosawa tells a story is such a dynamic, visceral way, packs a punch 50 years since its release, and not just in itself, all movies. Famously remade in the Hollywood film The Magnificent Seven in 1960, the advertising slogan is true. Nothing beats the real thing. This is truly one of the films you have to see before you die. Like Leon's Once Upon a Time in America, this is one of those films that every cinematic element clicks together and complements it perfectly. And that this is it. You could actually begin and end your list with Seven Samurai, but I Live in Fear. I Live in Fear is good. Throne of Blood is probably going to be second for me. And there's a bunch of pop-up ads here, but no, but so to answer your question, they're out of order. I wish I had more. I was more set up for that question, but Seven Samurai #1. Like as soon as you're done with the stream, watch that movie. Throne of Blood. I arguably. Let me look where they have Throne of Blood as far as ranking. They had Throne of Blood at the bottom. And I don't agree with that. Sorry for you non-Kurosawa fans. This is a question I had to answer. Where's Throne of Blood ranked? I do, but a lot of people have it down to 9. Yeah, I'm going to go with those two right off the bat. Anthony. So start with Seven Samurai, go right into Throne of Blood, and then any one of his movies at that point. And as you watch some of these movies, you're going to start seeing a look and a feel from movies that you're very familiar with, and you're going to see where they came from. All right. People are going to be mad. Oh, about the Flash. Maybe. I went with happy people. Monkey Jeeves, what did you think of Flash? No favor. He's right, but I just don't know if there's a way to please everybody. I just don't know. We could put out masterpiece movies, and I think people are still going to find a way to be mad. Different levels of mad. It all depends on what you're going into the movie for, too. I mean, you let yourself down easy, I guess. I don't know. I thought Ezra Miller was the best part of the movie. Despite his transgressions, whenever he's going through, I thought his portrayal of Young Barry, I wanted to choke Young Barry, and I realized I was supposed to want to choke Young Barry. And I think Young Barry actually brought out things in older Barry, our Barry's character that I thought that hasn't been brought out. And if there ever is more Flash, I want to see more of that evolved Barry. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, a lot of people are. Listen, Fossil Batman is hypnotic. That was a big risky move, but it wasn't a big risk because it's Batman. There aren't too many box office failure Batman. There might be disappointments that didn't make as much as the people shelling the money out would have wanted them to make. But if you look at the money and the times that they were released in, almost every Batman, even the god awful Batman and Robin, made money. Batman Forever to me is my favorite of those first 3 movies. All right, Nolan's trilogy bored me to tears, with the exception of Heath Ledger's, but they made some money. I mean, like I said, they were the baseline, and they were a Heath Ledger away from just being $400-500 million movies, But the Bat brings in cash, so no matter who they put in that Bat costume, it was going to be the marketing point. And it just so turns out that like I said, I know I make fun of also Batman, but while he's on the screen, Michael Keaton's Batman is relevant to the movie. He is critical to the happening, just like Sasha Kai's Supergirl is. They may not be the whole of the movie, but while they're on the screen, they are pivotal. So and they're good in their roles. All right, it is nostalgia bait, and this movie does nostalgia. Nostalgia. And here's the thing about nostalgia: I always say nostalgia, if it's done right, it's okay. If it's done wrong, it's like a bomb, and you're trying to pull the wires. If you pull the wrong wire, it's going to blow everything up. But if you do it carefully, you can make a lot of money out of it. So if it's nostalgia done right, fan service done right, then you can make money. But if it's just throwing the characters out there just to touch your old people bone, then usually it's going to fail. But he's not just there to say I'm Batman And to say that stupid ass, "Ready to get nuts? Let's get nuts." No, there's a lot more to his character in the movie to than that. Vince, you do you. Spider Verse is still the best this year until I see Dune, at least. Once I see Dune, I can decide what's the best movie is going to be. Dune, Rebel Moon. We still got a couple movies to go. If I had to two, if I did pick Spider Verse, it's not by a lot. But Spider Verse, I love Spider Verse. I mean, everything I liked about Into the Spider Verse, this movie just capitalizes on and does better. Fourth, nostalgia bait is ironic for a character whose job is literally to go back in time. Gonna go back in time. Manzano, what are your thoughts on the major trades reporting that Matt Reeves is planning to have Harvey Dent as his next billion, and that he's down to Joel Edgerton and Josh Hartnett to play Harvey? It came from the trade, so I don't care. Um, I won't care about it, even if they. I don't care who their sources are. I won't care about that type of casting until I hear it from James Gunn or whoever he puts in, or I hear it from the person saying, "Hey, I've been casted." We have a long time before these movies come out. We still have a long time in the casting, thing. And like I said, I'm not saying that the trades lie, but it's like a dealer. I want you to come back and take my drugs. So I'm going to give you what I need you to come back. That's what social media in general is when it comes to this level. So I don't get excited about when the Hollywood Reporter unless they are interviewing somebody and I'm getting it from the horse's mouth doing that interview. Other than that, I don't chase my tail when it comes to the trades and casting rumors. Rocco, literally a rock in your avatar. I love it. Do you think they should have done the reboot based on Matt Reeves' universe and kept Matt Reeves' universe as is? No. Matt Reeves' universe doesn't fit with anything that's not Matt Reeves' universe. And Matt Reeves, that particular version of Batman was designed not to interact with a fantastical Batman, and people would have hated it for that reason. Not everything is a success when it's grounded. That version of Batman, how he designed it, does. But when you're trying to interact with things on a level that you would need to in order to do a DC cinematic universe, you are going to run into problems with the expectations of these fantastical characters. When you're doing Batman on his own in his gritty, grimy part of the world, Gotham City, you're fine. But when you start, doing a shared universe with that Matt Reeves universe isn't going to work. He would have had to totally design his uniform or his universe, and that Batman that he has designed wouldn't work in the one that he would have to build. So no. Flash runs fast, not his job's his time travel. Yeah, Doctor Who. Appreciate the non-spoilers. Yeah. We still got a long. I saw this movie almost 2 weeks ago. Actually, almost a month ago, I saw this movie, and it's been really hard not to talk about it. Because like I said, I could see me slipping off that. So. Do you think, without spoiling, any of this could continue a '90s movie? I can't answer that without spoiling. William, thought on several crew members who were injured in the set of Gladiator 2 while filming a stunt sequence. The crew members have all been treated and experienced on non-life. Oh, I'm just hearing about that now. It's probably, given what is in the Gladiator set, it's probably a very dangerous set to work on. But yeah, that happens all the time. Never mind that question hinting on. Yeah, I can't answer that. William, are there any specifically any set that weren't correct in the Flash? And I can't answer that. I was happy with the overall movie when it comes to the Flash. I'll do that for you. Piff, tell Chris Wong and friends to stop putting the spoilers on their thumbnails. Is he doing that? He's not. Chris Ping Pong's not doing that, is he? No, he's not. I think he's putting rumors. Is he? Hold on, let me look. I hope he's not. He's a pretty squared away guy, man. Come on, Chris. I hope you didn't turn to the dark side.
Okay, he has his review on here. I don't. Let's look at his thumbnails. Lots of Power Ranger stuff. Lots of Power Ranger stuff. Some borderline stuff. I mean, further than I would go, but not full on. There's one in particular YouTuber, and I'm not going to bring it up here. That went way further than that, and I just don't understand why you would want to do that. So yeah, don't do that. Don't like do a backhanded way of putting out a spoiler. Just don't do it. Jeez, how hard is it? Like I said, just remember. Imagine. Listen, I'm a huge wrestling fan, right? And WrestleMania, the year that Shawn Michaels wrestled the Undertaker for the second time. Now, back in 2011, 2012, whatever it was, we had a general rule. Yeah, we had Facebook, we had all these other things on there. But the Wrestling Brotherhood knew that, some of us had to work. Some of us couldn't watch WrestleMania live. Some of us just couldn't do a lot of that stuff. And we either we bought it on pay-per-view and we ended up watching the replay or DVD, doing things like that. Some asshole put the results of the Shawn Michaels match on their page. And even if you weren't a follower on that page, since you followed wrestling in general, all that kind of shit flooded towards you and ended up ruining the match for a lot of people who could not watch it live. And like I said, there was an unspoken word, I guess it needed to be spoken at that time, to where you would put spoilers, WrestleMania spoilers, if you weren't watching it live, and then you would leave like a lot of space for people to. So you had to scroll down to figure that out. This person just blurted it out, and it ruined it for me. So I understand what it means to have things ruined for you that you're anticipating. So, but you also haven't you been in a movie where you saw something really cool and you wanted somebody to experience, or you just don't care? I mean, that's just fucked up. It's messed up. Scumbags. William, did you that Kevin Smith got a copy of the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever, and he's going to talk about it on June 19th? I thought he was doing I thought he was doing. That's the same day he's doing Superman Lives? He's going to read the script of Superman Lives. I know he's doing a show where he's gonna be doing that stuff about it, but um, I don't know. Batman Forever for me is fine the way it is. I mean, not every movie needs to have a cut. I'm a Ridley Scott fan, and most of his director's cuts, the people who cut the stuff from his movies were right. He's a great director, but he's not an editor. He's not. He's not the best judge of his own product when it comes to like how it all comes out to the fan. Aliens director cut, it's kind of useless. Some of his cuts for Blade Runner, I don't see how you could make Batman Forever better. That's one of the best Batman movies out there, man. But I've never been happier not to be on Twitter. Listen, I use Twitter for business and to communicate with people, but that's about it. I mainly use my Twitter for DMs. And same here. And I mean, I've been posting more and more lately, but it's not my main format. I've seen the movie, so I'll know it's important. Same here. Same here. And by the way, please don't put out joke spoilers either. Like, like Scooby Doo's in the movie or some stupid shit like that. Just refrain from all of it, please. William, thought on Jennifer Lawrence that she would love to return to Hunger Games. Of course, that she made a lot of money from Hunger Games. Any actress would take a job like that. I'm not a Hunger Games fan, never seen any of the movies, but I know she's a star of them. So the authority will be the boys with 75% more dick jokes. I don't know why everybody thinks that all James Gunn can do is dick jokes, but sure. Yeah. Yeah, and here's Cartman. I'm going to get, by the time the authority does show up on screen, I'm probably going to want to just choke people because this is going to be the thing that's getting said 1,000 times until then. Trades I'm talking about are Hollywood Reporter, The Wrap, Deadline, Variety that are reporting that Matt Reeves said that the main antagonist for the next movie is going to be Harvey Dent. But has he casted him yet? I mean, so I mean, I know your original question had casting people, and who's reporting on the casting? That's what I want to know. Jared Server, you might need to avoid the spoilers on this, but how relevant would you say the Flash makes each iteration of DC it visits to? I'm going to pass on that one. Dave generally doesn't join me on the overnight on these ones, the semi overnighters. He's usually with me on Saturday, and then when we start doing the Sci-Fi Center presents, I should probably start bringing them up because I'm stepping on my own feet here. Have you seen the Rise of the Beast yet? I have not seen it. I sent a bunch of people to it. An air freshener or a speaker that looks like a cassette tape. All right, anyway, and these reports are saying that Matt is down to 2 actors. Like I said, I'm going to refrain from the. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you because I don't dive into it this far out until he makes the announcement, like somewhere. Who knows? It might even be Comic-Con this year. Ghostly Visitor, did you ask me a question on All right, let me jump over to our channel here and see what you asked me. All right, let me find you. JR server. How did their question come in there here, boy? All right, Ghostly, did you ask me something on a different channel? I'm on my other channel. I didn't see anything. So. Okay, ask it here if you want if you need me to answer it real quick. I feel watching movies at home is more honest experience than the hype of theater surrounding the movie are gone and it's just a story. Yeah, I'm not. It depends. Like for Dune, there's no way in hell I'm going to watch Dune at home. Movies like Blade Runner, movies like The Flash. I mean, I will eventually watch them at home, but there's no way in hell it's going to be my first option. There's just Top Gun Maverick. No, I needed to see that on the biggest screen possible. But it's personal preference, though. I still say it depends on your at-home theater setups, QLEDs with physical. Yeah, but you know what? Unless you're like literally a rich guy, I mean a super rich dude, you're never going to compete with the size of that and the sound of that, unless you're like literally kicking it rich like that in the environment of that. But maybe you are. But most cases, you would literally have to spend so much money. Just better just go out to the ticket, go out and buy a ticket. Not me either. Question: do you have any recommendation for a Miles Morales stories series? His original one. His original one from Ultimate Fallout, number 4, I think it is number 4. His first appearance, and the subsequent rest of the Spider series that one ended and concluded. His run in Web of Spider-Man that concluded just recently, last couple years or so, before it went into Miles Morales Spider-Man. The current episodes of our current issues of Miles Morales Spider-Man are the best. In fact, hold on. So I'm going to go personally. This is all going to be different. The current run of Miles Morales Spider-Man. This is a Mary Jane variant. I think they're on 28, 29 right here. The Web of Spider-Man comic that he took over, the last issues of that were good. But the current run of Miles Morales Spider-Man is very good. Also, the initial storylines, and I don't know what the exact issues are off the top of my head. The end stories that when after Secret Wars, when they merged his Earth to the 616 universe, those interim stories, and you could if you just look up if you just Google Secret Wars Miles Morales, it'll tell you exactly what issues they are. Those issues are good. His first issues is if we become Spider-Man after Ultimate Fallout, I think number 4. Those first issues after that where he first dons the uniform are some of the best ones, period. And then the ones at the end of the storyline where his universe gets merged are some of the best ones because certain characters that certain circumstances are changed for him, and it's very interesting to see how they write him. So the current run of Miles Morales Spider-Man, if I would start with number 1, it's still cheap. His first appearance is you're gonna have to get those in trade paperbacks. I had one here, but I sold it. There are trade paperbacks that have Miles Morales' first stories on the Ultimate brand in them. It's cheaper if you buy those. So, and I'll get them in the store. And they'll be on our SC on TV. But that would be my advice for Miles Morales. All right, no theater, surround sound, just your television and story. Okay, that's boring. Doesn't she do those Halloween kids books? Are you talking about the lady we bought up, the Kelly lady? Not anytime soon, but that's not up to me. Hey, it's a fun deal, dude. I mean, I opened my own because I loved hanging out at them and interaction. You probably already know this is you can't get it anywhere else. Colin Farrell should have been Batman. Should be been Batman and Robin. Batman. I don't know. I think they were going for a much younger person. Honestly, I think Brainiac will work better than Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah, or Sasha Kai as Supergirl because even if James Gunn goes on to do his thing, years down the line, I don't think it'd just be a damn crime if that's the last I saw her in that outfit. I mean, I pirate here and there. I don't spread info about the movies. Well, question when it comes to both Spider-Man and Batman, specifically in the comics, can Peter learn anything from Bruce, vice versa? No, they should stay away from each other. Bruce is a sociopath. What he puts himself through mentally and physically is not healthy. If you put him on a psychiatrist's couch, it would be they would be able to make a career out of what goes on in that man's head. William, did you hear about you? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Everybody's been hitting me up about that too. I mean, I saw it on the news, but I guess it's getting like a really big deal, and some people are going to start coming out here. But not to, I mean, we given what's out here in the military installations that are out here, yeah, 8-foot aliens, yeah, Now, how close was this to the dispensary? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, who knows, man. There already are abandoned theaters. I know the theaters I go to, if they ring, you get thrown out. Well, keep in mind, I go to pre-screenings too. A lot of times they take your phone in some cases anyway, and in other cases, if they got that little heat thing, or if they find your phone on, they throw you out. Yeah, yeah. The Criterion Collection, you can get them from there. Like I said, I those are the two I give you guys. Always Seven Samurai on HBO Max. I hate that name, by the way. I don't see it. Oh, no, sure as hell is. Dude, we need to do a watch party of this. It's a long ass movie though. Man. Hold on for a second. I want to see. I wonder if we can set up. Man, we got to set up a watch party for somebody. For those of you who would be willing to sit through 3 hours and 27 movies. 3 hour, yeah. Wow, a lot of his movies. Throne of Blood is on here. How long is Throne of Blood? Can we do Throne of Blood? I really didn't, because I've always just watched them through a different source. Yeah, dude, Max. So I forgot who answered me. I think it was Anthony. There you go, man. There's several of his movies are on HBO Max, and it doesn't look like they've been cut up either. All right, Monkey and dude, I'm gonna kill this fly. Vintage does Criterion have their own streaming service? No, like we just it's on. If you have HBO Max, just go to HBO Max. Throne of Blood and Seven Samurai there, and those are the two I recommended you to. I haven't heard a lot about. I know a lot of people have been into it. I haven't. It hasn't been on my radar yet. Justice League was also influenced by Seven Samurai. Did you ever see the black and white side pro by pose of the league? Total 70. Yeah, there's a lot of influence. And like I said, we're gonna do one of our Sci-Fi Center presents and a lot of the stuff that you guys see, and you will never have heard of this guy. But trust me, when it's like the people who are not big Blade Runner fans, but they're big into some of the stuff that was influenced by Blade Runner or Metropolis for that matter. Let's see. I don't follow soccer, but I know it was big news. You met him? When did you? Wow, that's cool. Yeah, because he just passed away. Not recently, but he lived to be 88 years old. So that's kind of cool. Did you get his autograph? This is his contract apparently, Cody. Yeah, I don't do soccer, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, and Rand is on here too. Looks like. Thank you, Vince, for. I don't know why the fuck I didn't know this was on here. Is Rand? No, Rand is not on here. Okay. Dude, 47 Ronin Part 2 is on here. Dude, I mean, I need to dive a little bit deeper into my HBO Max content that I've been paying for all this time. I need to start working again. My sister said I only have about 200,000 left. That's it. Geez, I wish I had that problem. Yeah, I understand, Anthony, but like I said, I need to hear it from him as far as who he's casting, and then even still, stuff changes. You're gonna, yeah, these nuts, very funny. Yeah, go to HBO Max, Anthony. You'll find it there. I'm gonna kill this fly. Yeah, bosses are dicks. You might need to avoid spoilers on this, but how relevant would you say the Flash makes an iteration of DC? I had to deny that question before. All right, question. So, since Howard the Duck is your obvious worst one, would you classify as the second worst comic book movie ever? That was supposed to be good, or can we talk about like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four one that nobody saw, or the Captain America with JD Salinger? That was supposed to be good. Pick any Thor movie. Oh, okay. You were talking. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. It's comes clean. RJ didn't see the film. He lied to everyone. Why are you guys saying that stuff? What did he say somewhere that he didn't see the film or didn't see? Are you talking about the Flash? He didn't see the Flash? I thought he saw it. Pretty sure he saw it. As bad as Howard the Duck is, you got to admit this soundtrack is awesome. No, I don't. Well, we went over this, Chappie. We went over this. How what? Just the names of the songs on that soundtrack alone are god awful. Don't start with me, Chappie. All right, finding the size of the screen and viewing distance are relative to each. 65 screens, 15 feet away. Yeah, I need to be in the movie theaters. I wish Disney would show movies on the soaring over California screen. That'd be neat. I have 60. Okay, now we're doing dick measuring with our TVs. Now, come on. I have 65 QLED in my apartment. It looks huge in my space. Oh, here we go. I got a 75. I'm going to get an 85 when I move. Look at the cans of worms we've opened up here. Yeah, Bruce Wayne is a functional sociopath. Yes. Allegedly, yes. I'm going to start. I met Lloyd. Lloyd Kaufman was a great guy. Oh God, I didn't realize who I was clicking on. Obviously, you met Lloyd Kaufman. You were here with me when you met him. 3 hours and 27 minutes. Spaghetti westerns, yes. Westerns, not in general, but I will do some spaghetti western stuff. We did a spaghetti western festival here one year. Hey William, do you believe that that family in Las Vegas saying that they saw aliens in their backyard? I saw the video on TikTok. It's blurry, but I it didn't look like a creature. I haven't seen the video. I've been busy. And people have been asking me about it too. And people don't even live here. Hey William, see, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to hold out until I get more info on it. But yeah. Based on what I've seen and heard up to supposed crash landing, some people saw creatures 8 feet tall roaming around the crash site. Like I said, how close was it to the dispensary and how many edibles were intaken? I haven't heard that he hadn't seen the movie. When I talked to him about the movie, I didn't get any indication that he hadn't seen it. So I'll leave that. William, I just went to other channels and they're already putting thumbnails saying that Nuggets are doing a gentleman sweep of the fraudulent Miami Heat. Yeah, they want to. I haven't watched as so little of the NBA Finals since 2003 when it was the Nets and the Spurs. It's been 20 years to the date where there's been an NBA Finals I just did not give a shit about, and this is it. I don't care about either one of these teams. Every now and then you have a dead NBA Finals like this, in my opinion, where you get teams like this, and it only happens a few years. For the most part, you do get a storybook team in there. You have the Celtics or the Lakers. But every now and then you'll get a Phoenix and Bucks. And this, some people watch it, some people don't. Hardcore guys will watch it, and casual fans, which make up 80% of sports fans, are just not going to watch it. Me, as a hardcore fan, I just didn't care about these two teams. I didn't care about the people on their teams. I didn't care about any of the people on their teams. There's just nothing compelling for me. Neither one of them winning would, now had the Celtics made it, I would have been rooting for whoever would face them, because I don't want the Celtics to get their 18th title before my Lakers do. Other than that, I could care less about this year's NBA Finals. It's just had nothing for me interest wise, so. And that's not just because my team's not in there. My team's not in most NBA Finals, and I still find reasons and ways to watch those. And this Nuggets Heat final has just been, and I don't think it's been, for the time that I have watched it, I think if I look at the stats, it's not even been that great a played series. So, I'll ask her, speaking of Criterion, any thoughts on Criterion's show era Godzilla movie collection DVD? None. You asked me that before, and I hadn't checked it out. Sorry. William, you didn't like the first Thor movie? No. That came out in 2011, and you didn't like I thought it was boring. I thought the pacing was boring. I thought certain particular actors just kind of mailed it in. I thought that character by design is very weak away from the Avengers. The first one, you obviously wouldn't have known that until because the Avengers came out, but you instantly saw an improvement when you put him side by side with the Avengers, and you can instantly see how it affects his character not to be around better actors. I just don't like the design of the character. The stories haven't been that good. The story for the first one was bland. The story for the second one was awful. The third one was a mess. The fourth one was a joke. So yeah, there you go. Samsung Technology. Okay, you guys are talking. Yeah, I haven't seen any video, and that's sad. I live here, and I haven't. It's probably been all on the news, but I haven't watched it. So, all right, guys, we're about to wrap it up here. I got about 6 more minutes left. William, I usually have considered doing. Have you considered doing a review for one of my biggest guilty pleasures of all time? Transformers into the pot. You know what? That movie made $1 billion, I think. So, or near $1 million, billion. But you agree that NBA fans calling the Heat fraudulent, saying they got lucky that the other teams are off and they don't deserve to be in the finals. You know what? You could say that about about a lot of these teams. I mean, yeah, Denver beat who was in front of them, but the two teams that they faced in they faced a awful Minnesota team. The team they faced in Phoenix, had they not gutted their team, was probably a team that could have hung with them because they gutted their team to get Durant. And they played a Lakers team who had basically been on a mad sprint just to even make the playoffs and had changed over their entire team. I think, and I've said this before, if they meet again and all things are equal and they all have the same playing time together and everybody's healthy, then I think the Lakers wipe the floor with them. The Heat, both of these teams look really good because of issues that happened to the teams that would have been there on a normal basis. And if you could make the case that if the Greek Freak doesn't go down, that the Heat don't get past that series. But like I said, I can't blame the Heat for that anymore. I can blame the Nuggets for Rob Pelinka blowing up the team to the point where we had to rebuild it again and no one had playing time together. That's why I'm very confident that if this same Denver team were to roll into, and first of all, they wouldn't have home court advantage, and they wouldn't be the top team in the conference. Because I think a healthy Lakers team, it would have been the top team in the conference, and that means the biggest advantage that Denver had going for them is that every series started in Denver for the first two games, and that's a hard ask for the other teams to fight back against. But had Hachimura been there, had D'Lo been there, had all the people, Russell been, everybody who ended up getting the Lakers into the playoffs and getting them to the Western Conference Final had been there from day one in training camp and everything else. I don't think not only do the I keep wanting to call them Broncos because that's the only relevant teams that are in that city. The Nuggets wouldn't have been number one, which means they would have had to come into somebody else's house for the first two games, and I think that that would have changed a lot of things. So you could really chalk this NBA Finals matchup to teams underperforming, teams injured, and teams just basically gassed by the time that they got to a certain point. So you don't have to call them frauds, but I don't think I don't think the finals we got is emblematic of what the league is. All right, so where was I at there? Not yet. Oh, not yet, but they're down the line. But it all depends on what James Gunn does. No, I am not. I'm not a fan of the Hitman movies. Check out Jarbo's stream when you're done, William. RJ on there spilling the beans. Okay. Am I a big fan of things like Hamlet and Macbeth? I think you would like the movie, or that's what they got there. Proof they did a horrible job. I am a fan of things like Hamlet, Macbeth, and Shakespeare in general. That if that's what they were trying to do, they did an awful job doing it. What NBA teams would you absolutely love to go see against each other in the finals? Lakers and Celtics. But I'm surprised that Marvel hasn't rebooted Howard the Duck. Well, they restarted him. You see him in the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if he justifies his own movie. I think people are afraid to get fired on that one. But yeah, putting him in Werewolf by Night and Man Thing, yeah, that'd be perfect. He deserves a place in the finals, but Nuggets are just too strong. This is a top seed. Well, it's a top seed in a conference that kind of screwed itself up. Like I said, that's great. Congratulations to the Nuggets, but trust me, a healthy Lakers team with everybody that they got at the end of the trade line there and conditioned and used to each other and through a training camp with each other, through a preseason with each other, and through 82 games with each other, I think that would be the top team in the West. And I think that changes everything. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap it up and go home. Hey, William, thoughts on the passing of the Iron Sheik? Yeah, we talked about this a couple of days ago on my show. One of the greatest wrestling villains ever. Yeah, the prototypical wrestling villain ever. The guy who made Hulkamania possible, the guy who made rock and roll wrestling possible because you needed a foil. You needed an enemy to get started with. And he's the most underrated heel of all time. And he was one of the OGs. He did everything that was asked of him during his career. And that includes some of the things that did not put him in the most favorable light. And you're talking about an Iranian national coming over to the U.S. in a time where we had the Iran hostage situation and Iran-Contra and all these things that we had since the revolution. And here he is, basically facing all the, all the all-American type characters and having to deal with people, treating him like garbage. And he never broke character, and he did what was asked of him. And if he hadn't done the things that was asked of him, I don't know if a lot of the careers that we know and love would have ever got off the ground. He could have been an asshole. And I know that we were talking about the story the other night where Vern Gagne was offered him money to not drop the belt to Hogan. And, and he said, no, I'm going to do what I need to do. So that's an old story. All right. Listen, guys, about this whole RJ thing, I'm on my stream. I'm not watching the other stream right now, so I don't know what's going on over there. So I have no comment on that. All right, it's probably gonna be the last one because starting to fade. William, as a wrestling fan, for you, who was the greater wrestling villain of all time, Roddy Piper or the Iron Sheik? I'm talking about Roddy in the 80s and early 90s before he went to WC. It's still gonna be the Sheik. It's going to be the Sheik, because even when Roddy Piper was a villain, he was a more lovable villain. The Iron Sheik stayed in character at a time where it just wasn't socially beneficial for him, but he was so sold on his job that that he did what was needed. And like I said, I will have a tremendous amount of respect, both while he was living and and now that he's passed. All right, guys. Let's see. Hold on. One more. William, I know you're a Lakers fan, but fan of that NBA fan in general. What are big fan of teams? Yeah, I remember that. Mullen, Chris Mullen, Tim Hardaway. I remember those words because they faced my Lakers in 1991 on the way to NBA Finals. That's not true. These are reports from people that have been working with Roddy at the time. Okay, hold on. I'm not getting your question, Anthony. What? That's not true, William. No, these are reports from people that were working with Roddy at the time. They said that multiple fans stabbed Roddy. I know he got attacked. Am I missing the first part of your question, Anthony? No, I'm missing that. Retype your question, Anthony, before I go and I'll answer it. Chappie, question. Since The Flash is definitely going to make a lot of money, but my only question is, where does Sasha Kai Super go in the future because the one in Wonder Woman Toronto is a different version. I tuck her away in an Elseworlds, do something with her. And like I said, I've been saying before, anybody who gives me that bullshit of you can't do that, you can't have one Supergirl while one is on here because it'll confuse people. And my response will always be the same. You'll be confused if you're an idiot. It will be confusing if your storyteller is an idiot. I don't think either is the case. So put her in an Elseworlds. All right, William. I'm not saying that Lisa reports from people were specifically that were working with Rodney at the time they said defense was stabbed. All right, dude, you're losing me here. Like, do you recast? Do an else? I say do an Elseworld because you don't need to do a bunch of movies with her, and who knows how many movies you're doing with the new one that you're doing. I think no, I don't think it puts him in a bad situation. I think it puts him in a situation that gives him more to use and more to work with. I think if you look at it in a DC way and not an old Hollywood way, you could do it. All right, Anthony, William. What I'm talking about is these are reports from the promoters that work with Roddy and wrestlers also saying that fans stabbed the Roddy multiple times when he was a bad guy doing it. Oh yeah, well you had okay. Yeah, but you're asking me who is a better bad guy doing. I'm going based on pure talent. Read deeper into the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik got bomb threats against him. Iron Sheik had people approach him with knives. Iron Sheik had people spitting on him as he was going to the ring. Iron Sheik, over the course of his career, Iron Sheik had more thrown at him than Roddy Piper did. They didn't always talk about it because, once again, he stayed in character. He never wanted to be considered a whiner. But yeah, you're gonna have to look do some. There's a couple of documentaries on the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik went to some shit, and both in and out of the ring too, because he was really from Iran, and at a time in the '80s where being from Iran could get you killed. And remember, the mentality as a wrestling fan in the '80s is different than what it is now. Oops. Oh, why did I do that? I just clicked on the wrong thing. Thoughts on Christina Hodson, if she's under the right director, under the right producer, I think she can do great things. That's what anybody, I guess. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to get home. This was a rare thing for me to do this here at the store. Usually I'm at home doing it, but I was working late, and I figured why instead of doing it in my dark cave, let's do it in the lights and bright and a nice background. And if you had comic book questions, I could go get them and answer them for you. We will be back tomorrow at our 9:30 time, the overnighter. Sage Stella will be with me. We'll put some topics together. We'll talk more Flash. We'll talk more Spider-Verse, non-spoiler, of course. I'll bring up some other. I'll look at some of the questions and see if I can bring up better answers for you guys tonight. I'll probably may do some giveaways. Who knows? We'll see how the day goes. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for being the best part of this whole YouTube experience. And be kind to each other. And please, whether you're on this stream or any other stream, please do not ruin and or spoil any movie that's currently coming out or just come out for anybody. Don't do that. It's messed up. You have no soul if you do that. All right, guys. Have a good night. And oh, yes, by the way, I did get Sister Kim's. I did just put it in such a nice bag for me. I couldn't bring it out and show it to you, but you've seen it before. It's that burger that I just have to go like this with. I put it over there so that I wouldn't have the smell distracting me. So that's where I'm headed. So hope you're headed off to your meal too. See ya.